Indian Army engineers fare better than Chinese, experts. Bengaluru, Indian Army engineers are much better than their Chinese counterparts, but fund crunch remains a major concern, say experts. Senior Army veterans and young researchers discussed the state of infrastructure and capabilities of the Indian Army during a recent panel discussion organized by Defense Research and Studies, DRIS. DRIS is a web-based think tank founded by a group of like-minded veterans of the Indian Armed Forces. Lieutenant General Gautam Banerjee, PVSM, AVSM, YSM, RED, contended that in terms of capability, expertise and skills, Indian Army engineers are better positioned than their Chinese counterparts. However, skill superiority is not sufficient to counterbalance the huge resources invested by the People's Liberation Army, PLA, on infrastructure building. Indian Armed Forces, on the other hand, have been kept on a starvation budget for a long time, which has resulted in an inadequate fund allocation to supporting arms including the Corps of Engineers. With reference to the India-China military standoff in Ladakh, General Gautam Banerjee stated that even though the Chinese troops used to remain well behind the Lakhites, they were well equipped and funded for quick infrastructure development. The Chinese have pre-planned for the border scenarios and contingencies. Thus, they could bridge the infrastructure gaps without much difficulty. The infrastructure development along Ladakh has been an important concern for India since the late 1990s when China spearheaded its infrastructure construction along the Indian border. In response to this, border infrastructure assumed greater priority for policymakers in Delhi, and in 1999, the Cabinet Committee on Security had approved the proposal for the construction of India-China border roads. However, it took over 20 years for this project to reach the final phase in 2020, and last year's military standoff put the border infrastructure back in focus. We were not adequately prepared for a prolonged standoff in the harsh terrain. We needed improved road connectivity, shelters and huts equipped with basic heating arrangements, water and electricity supply, and field defenses to protect the troops on the heights, Gen Banerjee stated while highlighting the commendable role of Corps of Engineers in infrastructure development during this period.